What's up, you guys? Welcome to Crump Ain't Dead YouTube channel. So I'm here with Tampico right now, and you know how we do. We get the interviews in with some of your favorite top dancers. And so we're just going to talk about a little bit of the history in his Crump career and what he's currently doing in Crump. So how did you get started in Crump?
Do you want to go all the way back to the beginning, like
yeah?
Before
so like,
Crump?
when did you actually start crumping? Like, what year was that for you?
It's hard to pinpoint. All right, let me see if I can try to pinpoint this like live. I started dancing in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
That's clown dancing. Clown dancing went on until 2000 something. You know, you guys got to do that whole extra research, but I want to say fairly around 2003, 2004. We had a weird area where clown dancing transitioned to Crump. 2005, 2006, we got Rise and all this other shit.
Right.
I'm out of high school. I'm out of high school now. I'm fresh in college at this point, and we are doing Crump Kings. Mm-hmm. So let's say that's what, 2000.
That's like early 2000.
Yeah. But if I'm not mistaken, Kogi came around. Mm-hmm. Still that whole kind of clown Crump era transition. He came around cartoons.
Right.
So let's say 2004.
Yeah.
Because I was maybe 16, 17.
Okay.
So 2004 will probably be the like stamp of like Crump and my era with cartoons. Yeah.
That's
I guess
dope.
we just figured it out. Shit.
You know, so I've been knowing you for over a decade now,
yeah.
But I never recall you being under somebody in Crump. Maybe you have, and I didn't know when I was younger.
Oh, shit.
But I don't recall you being anything but Tampico. So have you ever been under, because I know a lot of people that I've known when I was a kid, they was like, yeah, I used to be under Slayer, but nobody really knew because I always just went and danced by my name. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
So, like...
That's funny.
Yeah, so who were you under? Were you under anybody?
So this is a interesting story. I think I've told it to a few people.
Yeah.
So originally, I'm not the original Pico or Tampico.
Oh yeah, I remember that conversation.
Yeah, so actually, Big Tampico was, he came from the clown era, that transition, like we say, where it was like, we didn't have the name Crump, but we was already getting off, you know what I'm saying? So I had a big homie. I had to battle, same thing. I had to battle Little Tampico, who, shout out to the original Little Tampico. He was nuts. He killed it in, what was it, Battle Zone 3? Somehow, I hope we can find some footage of him. He has a Laker jersey on in Battle Zone. He is the first person that did the whip, ridiculous, and shout out to Tie Dyes, because Tie Dyes gave him the fucking move. Damn, Chaz. Fuck. This nigga somehow, man. Look, this is secret history. Niggas do not know. But yeah, I'm not the original Tampico. I did have a big homie.
Right.
What happened was my big homie entrusted the name to me. So I don't know if that's ever happened in Crump before or whatever, but I'm probably the first person to be entrusted a name and start Crump off as Tampico.
That's crazy.
But
yeah. Do you still keep in touch with him, or have you talked to him?
I talked to him probably like over 10 years ago, and the last time he reached out to me, he said that he was proud of me. Yeah. And that, you know, he saw that I took the name and did something outside of like gangbanging, because he was a part of that life, and that's where his name came from. So originally I took a hood name, made it Crump.
So if you were to choose a big homie between Tie Dyes or Miho, who would you choose?
I would choose Miho. I would choose Big Miho because of the history of me seeing my, like I was speaking earlier about my big homie, original big homie, them going like head to head, and shit, man, I watched them battle and watched them, like, I looked up to both of them, like, damn. Chaz too though, me and Chaz ended up growing like a mutual respect for each other. And good labbing partners and good somebody that we could like share ideas about music and shit to get off to, shit to dance to. So me and Chaz just always had that understanding. I know it was a rumor about me being like wanted to be under him, and that wasn't true. But we did spend
that time together.
Yeah, we spent that time like shit, bouncing ideas and doing shit. I did learn shit from fucking I did. I learned shit from everybody. That's
dope. So, we covered like the little bit of history that you had in Crump, and then, so what have you been up to lately? I know recently your mom had passed away, and then you kind of had to take that little hiatus from Crump. So what have you been doing now since, it's been some time since she passed away?
Well, a little before that, I had a daughter, of course, if anybody didn't know. I know everybody probably sees on my social media.
Right.
Always got Marley. Just raising her.
Yeah.
Being a father. Now starting the business, the OG Status clothing brand, lifestyle brand.
Right.
We're doing clothing and multiple merchandise. Doing music still. A lot of people probably didn't know. Some people didn't know, but I've always DJed, like me and Goofy have always been DJs outside of Crump, and in Crump we've DJed like a lot of the Dunamis events.
That's true.
The sessions. Shout out to Papa Ruckus and the Ruckus fam and the D fam, Orange County. Shit, I'm back doing the DJing. I'm making beats. I'm producing.
So with you being back dancing, are you just trying to be active in Crump, or you want to start battling people again?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I know y'all seen that footage of, what was that? Was that last year?
Which one? Was it a battle?
Me and Bad News at the hooligan event?
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah.
So that was kind of like,
that was the year before last year. Actually.
Okay, yeah. So I haven't really had any battles since then.
Okay.
I won't tell y'all if I will or will not have any
battles. You just have to find out.
Yeah, you gotta find out. 2020 is gonna be interesting.
Right.
But for the most part, I'm not really looking for battling. I'm looking to like kind of spread knowledge and spread like energy.
Yeah.
And maybe shed a different perspective on Crump than other people are used to.
Yeah.
Not sure if I can, but I'm gonna try. That's my main goal, main focus. Shit. I'm not turning down no battles, but
you hear that? He ain't turning down no battles, but he not trying to. That's not his focus right now.
Yeah.
He just more so trying to be consistent in the movement, spread your knowledge, shed some light on some certain situations. I think that's important because you are a vet in Crump, and so it's a lot of newbies, and they just don't know this stuff,
Yeah.
So, my last question to you. Recently, I made a post on the Crumpers page that talked about fashion and what's currently trending. Because believe it or not, Crump does have like its own sense of style that trends when it comes to dancing. Like I think right now they said like the laser tag vests are trending. Have you seen guys with the laser tag vests while they get off?
like the camper type vest, like
I called it a bulletproof vest at the time. It was like it's a laser. They said it's a laser tag. So
the bulletproof.
Yeah, but that's what I saw. Yeah, that's what I saw. It looked like a bulletproof, but somebody's like it's a laser tag. I just whatever. It's a vest. So I seen that trending, and I don't like it, but it's trending. So what was trending at the time when you were crumping? Like I know HOF was known for like being hot for fashion. HOF and Hoolies. Like y'all the Chucks. Oh my god!
Yeah,
like I remember.
Shout out to the hooligans. For us, to be honest, I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I'll go back to the beginning.
Yeah,
and then present. Back then, the fashion was kind of what's coming around now, just like fashion in general.
Right.
Shit always comes back.
Right. Always repeats itself.
We did a lot of shit. We were sneakerheads, so we did a lot of Nike SBs, and we did like all the name brand jeans,
right.
you know, the True Religions and all that stuff. We came and we thought it was tight to get off in what we would wear to like the function.
Right.
You know, Goofy was coming to the session in Prada shoes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we stopped wearing the Timberlands and all that shit. And I think in a sense, like, you know, maybe a couple people was wearing tennis shoes, but then they have their Timbs and switch. And we was like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? We dancing in this shit. This shit is fly. And this shit is a part of my get off.
Right.
This is how I'm dancing because I feel fly. And, I don't know, yeah.
And then it's kind of transition. Like, what's like your fashion now? Like, that was your fashion earlier in the crump days. Now, because you know we're older now, so it's just like.
I've been looking at my old footage and I'm looking at the fashion like I would wear that now. Yeah. It's like some of those shoes cost a lot of money now and I didn't know the value of those shoes. Shit. Now it's the same thing, like regular fashion outside. I want to try to push the level of like high fashion and luxury and not being like crump can be luxurious and high end too, I think. And I think like if you know some of those high end brands or we create our own brand and present it as luxury and come with quality fabric and shit and model it and dance in it and show like, hey, you can have some high end streetwear or shit that you can go to fashion weekend or you can go to the session and you know
be fly as hell.
Yeah, so
we were just talking about that too. Like when I made that post, it was me and some girl, and we were talking about like, what if we had a crump fashion show? I'm like, nigga, I can do that shit tomorrow. Like if y'all serious, because there's actually a lot of people in crump that have like their own clothing line. Yeah. And so that I think that would be dope. Like we mix it with crump and fashion. Yeah. And so I know I did a project like years ago that was called Crump Meets Fashion, and I had people wearing stuff I made for my DIY tutorials, and so that was fun. But yeah, the fashion show, I think that would be dope. Yeah, yeah. There's just so much we can do in Crump, but we plotting. Yeah. We are plotting. Definitely. So yeah, I know that you said that you're gonna end this video with some tips for the viewers when it comes to dancing. So let's get into that.
All right.
So what are some tips that you can give dancers out there?
So what's funny, well, I'm going to say what's funny, but what's interesting is I've had a chance to talk to Lab Up, share some energy, session with a few people from overseas. Shout out to Spain. France, I won't make a long list, but a lot of people ask me like about, they say, oh, what's a groove and what's a bang? And I know for us, it's easy for us to use that slang and we understand that because we in the States and we in Cali or wherever you at, you're probably familiar with the crump terminology of a groove and a bang. If not, I couldn't tell you if there's a difference. What I could tell you is my theory of what a groove is would be a combination of a rhythm and a movement with a bang. I can't tell you like, oh, this is a groove and this is a bang. Like for me, once I use like say an awkward rhythm or an awkward position or a pose or something, you know what I'm saying, with my hands and I'm banging at the same time and maybe moving my feet, that for me is my bang. But some people would maybe classify it as a groove, or maybe they would just say like, oh, that's a really tight bang. I'm not sure, but I could show you how to combine two, and I would say that if you do a sort of different rhythm with your bang instead of just a straight chest pop, is going to create some type of like rhythmic, and if you do it to the beat too, of course, like it's still all about, that's a tip too. fucking listen to the beat. Yo, listen to the beat. Like, listen to the beat. Work on your musicality. And use your whole body as an instrument. Try to connect with all the different instruments or samples or sounds in the beat or ad-libs. Go for something that maybe you might go to the session and just observe for a second and see people get off to the same track and see what they're hearing and try to hit for something different if you could. If you feel that, hit for something in the beat that other people are not hitting. I would say that's definitely unique. And I might not have purposely thought about that. That's just maybe my style and just how I feel. But I would say that's a tip that would make you stand out and that would push you. It would challenge you. It would challenge your dance and get off, especially in a session. I wouldn't challenge you to just go fresh to battling and say, let me try to do that. Try going to session and vibing with your fam and your little homies, whoever, and try challenging yourself with the music too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Beast because he's a perfect example of good musicality and killing the beat, riding the beat, fucking owning the beat. Like, Beast is that dude. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are that dude. Shout out to Miho X. He's another person. His musicality is very good and in pocket, and he finds timing to set up. If you're familiar with battle rap, like set up a scheme for a move, a move scheme. Let's call it like a crump scheme. Like, he finds that perfect part of the beat to set up a breakdown for his move, which will be a punchline, and then boom, back to a get off and a groove. And then a spaz. Like, I know people have a problem with spaz, and this is something that me and shout out to Riot, Big Riot. Me and Riot had a conversation about people saying, "Hey, look at this spaz that I've been working out," and that is something that you can't work on. That is the part of you. That's I want to say, like, the emotional connection that you have to tap in, and that's where you have to master, almost like acting, being able to tap into that emotion, tap in and out of that emotion, and express that in your dance. You can't really say this is something that I've been practicing because it's going to look forced, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know anybody that can perfect that, but my tip to you is to just master tapping, knowing when to tap into your emotions in your dance and use that as fuel for a spaz. Not, let me practice going crazy, and like, you can't do that. It's about, the spaz is controlled chaos. So master that shit. What's up? My name is Big Pico, Tampico, Pico. You watching WhatsBuCk TV. Shout out to all the viewers. Shout out to Brit Brat. Shout out to the Crump community. Much love. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll be back with more.
We got Pico here. Got the custom.
Oh, yeah.
See you, and then got the shoestring match.
Oh, yeah. A little bit. All right. I'll fix my